President Bongbong Marcos has given the green light to import 150,000 metric tons of sugar. The concurrent Agriculture Secretary has also allocated 1 year's worth of local sugar production for domestic use. A Commission on Appointments panel has approved the ad interim appointments of Justice Secretary Boying Remulla and Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos. The Philippine government will resume the deployment of Filipino migrant workers to Saudi Arabia by November. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. President Bongbong Marcos has approved the importation of 150,000 metric tons of sugar to augment supply. Shaila Francisco with the details.
Consumers are struggling to find affordable supply of refined sugar in the market. However, they have no choice but to buy despite elevated prices.
Napakahalaga po sa amin kasi ginagamit namin siya araw-araw. Though hindi po kami nagbe-bake po, pero ginagamit namin siya sa kape po. Kasi dati pag bumibili kami ng asukal po, kahit ano po, kahit 50 pesos nakakabili na po kami. Ngayon po, hindi, parang masyadong konti na lang po yung 50 pesos, parang 1/4 na lang.
Mas maganda kung mas mababa po. Kasi nagtitinda po ako ng turon at saka biko. Ngayon, natigil po dahil wala na pong puhunan.
Some retailers have also decided to wait for prices to stabilize before selling again. On the bright side, additional sugar supply could come soon after President Bongbong Marcos signed Sugar Order No. 2, allowing the importation of 150,000 metric tons of sugar. Under the order, half of the volume will be allocated to consumers, while the rest will go to industrial users or manufacturers. The imported sugar should arrive on or before November 15. The Sugar Regulatory Administration said the import order aims to stabilize sugar supply in the country. Data from the Sugar Board shows that supply will remain tight from September to August next year amid high demand. This is why under Sugar Order No. 1, all local production until August next year will be allocated for domestic use.
Because we have a little tightness sa supply. So, local lang muna for the production until we see down the line kung how's the production doing, because we really don't know until all the mills are fully operational.
With the two sugar orders, the United Sugar Producers Federation or UNIFED is confident that prices of refined sugar can go as low as 70 to 75 pesos per kilo.
Pag malaman na yung mga nagtatago na mga sukal na may dararating na imported na refined, i-release nila yan eh. Kung hindi, maabutan sila ng murang asukal galing sa labas, malulugi sila.
Meanwhile, the Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura or SINAG is confident that local supply of raw sugar will not be affected since only refined sugar will be imported. However, manufacturers said the allocated import volume for their sector may not be enough to sustain operations.
Marami ang makahati-hati sa total quota. So, siyempre lahat ng pagbibigyan. Pag pinagbigyan lahat, yung quota na mapupunta sa bawat isa, most likely, mas maliit. Okay? So, is it really enough for everybody? Maybe not.
The SRA says the import program serves as a stopgap measure while waiting for the full operation of sugar millers to resume. The agency said it will monitor if production increases to keep up with demand. Shaila Francisco, WR1 News.
The Office of the Vice President is denying reports that Vice President Sara Duterte has been using the presidential chopper for personal trips. The Vice President posted a birthday greeting for the President on Tuesday. In the post, she thanked him for letting her use the presidential airlift wing to, quote, get home in time for her children's bedtime. OVP spokesperson Reynold Monsayak said VP Sara and her family are now based in Manila and would only need cars for daily travel.
Simpleng post ng pasasalamat, nilagyan ng anggulo at mali siya. Fake news ho yan, na araw-araw ginagamit yung chopper para umuwi sa Davao.
And the Philippines has lifted the deployment ban to Saudi Arabia. Starting November 7, overseas Filipino workers will be allowed to fly to the Middle Eastern country for work. Speaking to One Balita Pilipinas, DMW Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak said they are still ironing out guidelines for the resumption of deployment. These include the revision in the standard employment contracts for OFWs to ensure their welfare and the whitelisting or blacklisting of recruitment agencies.
The plan siya in the sense na may clear commitments from both sides, lalo na sa Saudi side. Ngayon, yung usapin ng lifting ng ban na talaga timeline is November, ay yun, kailangan pang may karagdagang pag-uusap at kalinawan para maipatupad itong mga napagkaigihan na mga bagay na nabanggit ko tungkol sa workers' protection.
We're gonna pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Two cabinet appointees were able to secure the nod of the Commission on Appointments today. Mayan Los Baños with the report.
Interior Secretary Benher Abalos received overwhelming support from lawmakers in his confirmation hearing on Wednesday.
We are in unanimity in that you are a dear friend to all of us. You answer our text messages, you answer our calls, return our calls if we don't get an answer from you. And that's the kind of secretary we need in the department today.
But despite breezing past the CA panel, Abalos still had to answer some questions, including the alleged killing and kidnapping of Chinese nationals. Abalos said the National Police continues to work on this and that dozens of victims have already been rescued. CA members also asked Abalos about the Mandanos ruling, which gives LGUs a national tax allotment. This allocation will be reduced by 15% because of the low tax collection during the pandemic.
Yung gaps, siguro po ay susuportahan na lang po ito in a way ng national ng kinakailangan po talaga. It's a way of really balancing these things.
Justice Secretary Boying Remulla also faced some queries from the CA panel before his appointment was approved. On the issue of illegal aliens, he said the Immigration Bureau is having problems in records due to outdated systems.
It is a problem that we have to face head-on right now. This number of illegal aliens has to be sorted out properly. The killings now that we see on video going through the internet to our telephones is very disturbing, Your Honor, and we really need more police visibility.
He was also asked about the government's position on rejoining the International Criminal Court.
It is really the job of the Chief Executive. Since we have a functioning justice system, we're not really too desperate to come out and be part of the Rome Statute, Your Honor.
Meanwhile, Labor Secretary Bienvenido Laguesma failed to get the CA nod for now after they ran out of time for questioning. Questions on a possible conflict of interest were raised as his law firm was involved in the labor cases of some big firms like ABS-CBN.
Kung sino po ang tama sa usapin, dapat po yun siguro ang dapat na mabigyan ng tamang hatol ng Department of Labor and Employment. We operate on the principle of tripartism. We respect, recognize rights of workers, also at the same time prerogatives and obligations of both parties to one another.
Laguesma also explained that he has already divested from the law firm after he was chosen to serve as labor chief. Another confirmation hearing is set on September 20. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
PBA officials are now in Tokyo to meet with the Japan B.League in a bid to strengthen ties. PBA Commissioner Willie Marshall led the group of delegates, which includes representatives from PBA teams. A Senate hearing earlier discussed the exodus of Pinoy basketball players to Japan and Korea, which has led to scheduling challenges for Philippine sports officials. Marshall said they are planning to hold similar dialogues with other leagues around Asia.
Hindi lang naman sa Japan League. Ang gusto talaga natin, pati sa Korea, within Asia, kung pwede nga international. Mas maganda yung magkakaroon tayo ng relationship at partnership sa iba't ibang liga. Natututo tayo, nakakahinga tayo ng ibang technology nila.
And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.